Your carrots are orange.
Mine are purple.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Vegan View. Today we're going to be showing you what we eat in a day to give you some good ideas on what a vegan eats in a day. And we teamed up with Purple Carrot because they make it super easy and delicious. So I hope you guys enjoy seeing what we eat, and let's do it.
Let's get started.
Let's eat something.
Hi guys, it's Nisha. So for breakfast today, I decided to have these crunchy cinnamon squares. They're basically like organic cinnamon toast crunch, but I added some mango and banana. I love adding mango to cereal because when you pour coconut milk, kind of tastes like mango sticky rice, and that's one of my favorite desserts, and I love to just incorporate that in a little bit of a healthier way in my breakfast.
Hey guys, it's Hannah. So for breakfast, I ate at a place called Cafe Gratitude. I had this tofu scramble and I added just egg in it, and came with a side of potatoes, some toast, and some roasted strawberries. Honestly, this was so good and I'm so inspired to recreate it at home. I love tofu scrambles, but I've never had the just egg in it as well, and it just really was such a satisfying breakfast. I highly recommend trying this out.
What's up guys, it's Nicole, and for breakfast on this day I made some tofu scramble, but actually this looks like a fancy complicated breakfast, and it was super easy because I meal prepped pretty much all of this. So whenever I make tofu scramble, I generally make a double or even triple batch of it because I will use it throughout the week for a really quick breakfast, or I'll throw it into a breakfast quesadilla or tacos, burritos, toast, so many things. It holds up really well, and I like to scramble my tofu with a bit of vegan cheese. I feel like that helps the texture a lot. I also add some salsa, some turmeric, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, and nutritional yeast. I kind of play around with the measurements depending on how I'm feeling that day, but that's my general method. And then I also had some leftover roasted vegetables from dinner from 2 nights before. So I took the potatoes from that. I also added some spinach that I really needed to use up, and I just warmed that up in a pan with a little bit of adobo seasoning. NISHA actually introduced me to adobo seasoning, and it's super good. So I just sauteed that with a little bit of water, and then I added the potatoes, tofu scramble, and spinach to a plate. So far, all I'm doing is warming. I didn't actually cook anything, so we're at like 2 minutes, 3 minutes right now. While I was warming up the spinach, I also made some toast. I did make 2 pieces, but I felt like I only really wanted one, so I saved the other one for later. And I love having toast with jam whenever I have something kind of eggy. Comment below if you can relate. I feel like it's a perfect pairing. So I'm using this one from Thrive Market. If you're wondering why it was all at the top, it's because the jar for some reason was upside down in my refrigerator. No idea why that was the case, but this is a really good jam, and it's naturally sweetened. It doesn't have any extra sugar, and it's organic, so I love this one. I also had some avocado, and this seasoning is one of my favorite recipes I've made, even though it's so simple. This is a homemade version of everything but the bagel seasoning that you may have seen at Trader Joe's. It's really easy to make, and I make mine a little bit more salty and a little bit more garlicky. It has these crunchy garlic granules that is so good. So I love putting that on avocado, and this was my breakfast. I did go ahead and add a little bit of sriracha just into the center so I could dip my potatoes and my tofu scramble into the sriracha. I would normally do ketchup, but I was out, so sriracha it was, and this was such a good and super fast breakfast. I was actually heading out to shoot some content with NISHA and Hannah on this day, and I knew we were going to be going to lunch, but I'm someone who always likes to have a snack, and my go-to snack right now is taking one of these little containers and filling it up with walnuts or almonds or pecans and some kind of dried fruit. Sometimes that's a pitted date or some cranberries or raisins, but I really love the combination of walnuts and cranberries and also almonds and cranberries. So that is what I put into my purse, and I ate this, I don't know, at some point during the morning. I remember being in Nisha's car.
For lunch, I decided to make this roasted veggie bowl. I just took whatever veggies were in my fridge, red bell pepper, red onion, and some Brussels sprouts. I coated them with a little olive oil and this incredible vegan chickenless seasoning salt. It tastes like the chicken instant ramen packets. This is a really easy one-sheet meal. After tossing the veggies, I also added some marinated tofu that I had in my fridge on the side, and I roasted that at 425 for 12 minutes. And I pulled it out, put a side of rice there, and I decided to drizzle some organic tahini. I used to hate tahini and now I'm obsessed with it. So don't be like me and not eat tahini for years and years because once you tried it and you didn't like it, because your taste can change and then you have another delicious topping for your food.
So I actually made my purple carrot meal for lunch and I did the crispy quinoa cakes. Sometimes my schedule is a little wonky, so sometimes it makes more sense for me to make a meal during the day rather than at night. So that's what I did here. I'm just prepping the quinoa right now and adding some salt and pepper. That's one thing about purple carrot recipes that I've noticed is they add salt and pepper to like every step. I really think it makes such a difference. So then I am preparing this flax egg right now that's going to help bind the quinoa together to make them little cakes. And I would have never thought to make a recipe like this. So that's one thing that's super cool is just getting out of your comfort zone when it comes to recipes. I'm so intimidated by like blending and frying things and usually would never like put this upon myself, but when I have all of the measurements already made and everything, it just seems so much easier and doable. So right now I'm just making the garlic lemon aioli that is going to go on top of the quinoa cakes, and I always feel like purple carrot has the best sauces, and I truly believe that the sauce makes the meal. And without a good sauce, it's really just going to be missing that punch. So that's one thing that I really love is they never skimp on the sauce. And then I'm just adding the quinoa to the blender along with the flax egg and some breadcrumbs and this French mustard herb blend and the shallots. And then I am going to blend it up. This recipe does call for a food processor, but I just find the blender to be so much easier. So I'm just pulsing it in the blender. And then I'm adding a little bit of oil to a pan and some mushrooms along with some rosemary, and then sauteing this until it's nice and brown and the mushrooms are a little more wilted, adding a little more oil to the pan and adding the quinoa cakes. And most of these recipes you could alternate to make oil-free if that's your thing, or you could use less or more depending on your preferences. So they really are customizable, which is great. And then I am just making the arugula salad. So it's just arugula, pears, lemon juice, salt and pepper. So simple. Add the quinoa cakes on top. Add a little drizzle of the aioli, the best part. And then the mushrooms. And it definitely looks prettier in purple carrot's picture, but I promise it tastes so good and it tastes like something you would get at a restaurant. So very satisfying for my lunch.
Hey guys, it's Nicole again. So on this day, Nisha, Hannah, and I went to lunch at a place called Fresh on Sunset. It is a Toronto and now LA-based vegan restaurant, and it is one of my favorites. I started with some Earl Grey tea with a bit of almond milk, and then we shared our favorite, basically they're buffalo cauliflower with a vegan ranch sauce. If you've seen my What I Eat in a Day videos on my YouTube channel, you will have seen this exact dish with the three of us having a meeting at my house because we eat this quite a lot and we don't have any fun doing it. As you can see, there was no dancing in public happening. Anyway, I also got a grain bowl and I actually separated it onto 2 plates because I need room when I eat, otherwise I make such a big mess. So I added broccoli, came with avocado and beans and some nuts and some greens, and I added the spicy tahini, which we decided we like better than the Caesar tahini. So if you go there, get the spicy tahini sauce.
For dinner, I decided to make these Vietnamese shaking beef tacos, and I was really excited that my bell pepper had a little baby inside. I wanted to show you guys. One thing I love about purple carrot is that I had never cooked with seitan. It scared me, so I never picked it up at the grocery store. I was interested, and I knew if I had a good recipe, which purple carrot has, that I would be able to try it and have a foolproof way of having a good experience. I love that about Purple Carrot because it makes me step outside of my comfort zone and try new things like seitan.
All right, so for dinner, I did one of my favorite hacks, which is just, it's not even a hack, but for me it is. It's just to prep a big, huge batch of soup at the beginning of the week. So I either do this on Sunday or Monday, and then I divvy them up into little portions for the week, and then I put them in the fridge or the freezer, depending on how long they are going to be there for. So this is just a broccoli, cashew, potato, cheese. The cheese is nutritional yeast soup, and I just defrosted some broccoli in the microwave, put a side of kimchi there, and this was my dinner. So easy, and I literally didn't have to do anything except for reheat the soup and defrost the broccoli, and it's full of chunky potatoes, and it's super hearty and delicious.
All right, guys, it's Nicole again, and I'm going to be making dinner. This is a mung bean khichdi recipe from my Purple Carrot box, and this is something I chose because, one, the spices just sounded really delicious to me, and also it looked like a very, very easy recipe, which ended up being the case. So I thought that was perfect after kind of a long day of being out and about and shooting. I just wanted something easy and filling and hearty and really flavorful. So I went ahead and I started with chopping up an onion with some ginger and garlic. You just saute that until the onions are translucent. And I added a little bit of salt, and then you're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of curry powder. All of the directions are written out in the recipe booklet that comes with your Purple Carrot box, and I recommend saving the booklets. I have a whole stack of them over where I keep my cookbooks just because I kind of dog ear the ones that I like the most, and I make them all the time. I just went ahead and I added the rice and the mung beans, some water, some salt and pepper, and I brought that to a boil. In the meantime, I went ahead and made a kind of a carrot slaw. So you're gonna make little carrot noodles just by using a regular vegetable peeler and kind of going back and forth to create really thin shavings of carrot. And then I'm going to add some cilantro, dried currants, toasted cashews, and the remaining curry powder with a bit of salt, pepper, and lemon. And this is gonna be kind of like a quick pickle type of raw slaw that you can put on top of the curry. Anytime you have something cold and crunchy and kind of vinegary or lemony on top of something that's cooked, it's really gonna add a really nice contrast of flavors. So I love that this recipe included that. So I just filled up my plate with some basmati rice, a heaping helping of the mung bean curry, and then some of the raw slaw on top with some lemon wedges on the side just to kind of brighten all of the flavors. And this was so good, so filling, and very, very easy.
All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed this What I Eat in a Day, and huge thanks to Purple Carrot for sponsoring this video. Make sure you guys check out the description box. We'll leave a link so you can check out Purple Carrot. We love Purple Carrot. We've used it for years now, and it's definitely one of our favorite, thank you. And it's definitely one of our favorite ways to make a delicious restaurant-style dinner at home. And honestly, we talk about it every time. The recipes just get better and better. It is
We're always
amazing.
texting each other. We're like, did you guys get this in your box?
Did you get this?
You gotta get it. It's so good.
And I actually brought one of these, one of the meals to my friend's house. She's not vegan, but we made the ravioli together, and she was very impressed.
Oh.
And she was impressed with my cooking skills, and I was like, thank you, but I just followed the
really
recipe.
Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, share it with your friends, subscribe to this channel if you haven't, check out our individual channels. We also post stuff over there, and make sure you join our Facebook group as well. We've got a great group of people in there, and we will see you guys next week for another episode. Bye.